It's always a miracle when connection happens. I see it spinning. Hello, everyone. I am Violette. I'm the founder of FemCity, and you're joining me today for our panel conversation. It's our Wednesday Wisdom series. And today we're talking about intuition and business as we prepare to close out 2021 and prepare for our beautiful 2022. I've invited these four beautiful souls to join us today in the conversation. And if you are joining us live, we encourage you to share your aha moments. You can go ahead and share your tips as well, or just give us some love. We love that too. So if you just want to literally just put in love or hi, we'll take that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I know these women really well. I'm super excited to kind of do this all together. And let's go to Carol. So Carol she is our Richmond Hill FemCity leader. She is a money coach as well. Carol, what is your number one tip for those looking to use intuition in business when they're thinking about the direction to go into for 2022?
Great question. And Violette, I just want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to be here today to share our thoughts. So I find using intuition with business very powerful. It encourages you to be positive, to take action, to be kind to yourself, and also to realize that we can only control our behavior. We cannot control others. And so we have a lot of thoughts going through our head every single day, thousands of thoughts. How do we identify these negative mind chatter from intuition? And so I'm going to share a quick story with you. And it's about me, and I'm going to be very vulnerable here. So please be kind, be kind with me. So I plan to do quite a few workshops in November and December. And when I sent out my post, I received a lot of yeses. Now, as the date grew closer, I received a lot of cancellations. And my first reaction, negative reaction, was, oh no, self-doubt took over. I was disappointed, self-doubt took over, and the what if question started. What if I'm not good enough? What if my message wasn't good enough? What if people didn't want to hear from me? Now, notice these are all low vibrational thoughts. And since I was working on myself for the past few years, I raised my vibrational level higher. And so these vibrational thoughts were not in alignment with who I am today and who I am becoming. And so I listened to my gut, the GPS in my gut that said something is wrong. This is not who you are. And so I invited my intuition, and there's many ways you can listen to your intuition. So I stood still. I count from 1 to 15. And I allow myself to relax. And I ask the question, how can I best respond to this situation? And I allow myself to receive. And the message that came in was, be grateful. And I opened my eyes and I thought, be grateful. You see, I had one person who confirmed for my workshop tomorrow. I was going to reschedule, but I thought, you know what? I am going to go ahead, share my message. Because every time I share my message, I have an experience that is building my confidence. So I'm going to go ahead and share it. And I'm going to also be kind to myself and just open myself to receive. So as we go ahead in 2022, realize that we will have goals, we will have expectations. We can only control how we react to those goals, how we prepare for those goals, but we cannot control who attend our workshop or who help us in our business or who doesn't, become our client. We have no control over that. We can only control how we prepare and how we act. So I think that was really freeing for me to realize I can invite my guests, but it's entirely up to them if they are in the moment, if they're free. Because me too, I was invited to many workshops that I couldn't attend because I was busy. So just realizing and giving myself that grace, that be realistic and be open and kind to yourself. So just to be positive and be grateful and be kind to yourself. Thank you.
I had myself on mute because he was barking, and then as soon as he quieted down,
oh, Georgie.
He says, that's right, Carol.
That's it.
That's right. That's what he's saying. I love that. Okay. Georgie. let's go to Jan. I was going to add something to that, Carol, but I don't want to waste any time. Like, go to Jan and then I'll add my comment. I'm taking notes, by the way. Oh my gosh. So Janet is from our FemCity Global Program. She also is an author of a beautiful book that I have that one day I have to bring out and show on video. She's amazing. Her energy is super, super fantastic, like everyone else here. Janet, what is your advice for those that are preparing for 2022 and wanting to use intuition to guide them so they have a very successful year?
One word, which is trust. It is the hardest part of using your intuition, and it's trusting it. It's knowing that it's not, yourself telling you stories, that it really is your intuition. And we get so influenced by external things that it gets really hard to sort of filter out all of that noise and know when it's our higher self, when it is our intuition that's talking to us. And I know probably everybody is in the same boat as me, but every time you go on social media, there's like a freebie that you can sign up for some making your business better. And I think I can't remember if it was 2020 or if it was 2021, but I made a pact with myself to not click on any of it. I'm like, I'm not going to sign up for any other freebies because I have too many people telling me too many different things. And I need to know what is best for me. I need to take my business in the direction that I need to take it in, which is not going to come from anywhere else but within me. So it helped so much. So that's my tip for 2022. Stop with the clickbait. Like, even if you just say like for a month, like it doesn't have to be the whole year, but just like that is one concrete way to filter out some of that external noise, is just ignore all of those freebies and really tune into yourself. Like, ask every day, what am I meant to do today? What am I meant to do this month? What am I meant, which direction am I meant to take my business in, and what is going to work best for me? And it's your intuition when you feel it in your body, when you get that tingle, or you feel fuller or brighter, then it's your intuition talking to you.
Love that. I love those tips. I love tuning out, because I always tell people, if you really want to connect with your higher self, be quiet. Like, literally just be quiet in the shower. Like, my best ideas come in the shower because there's no one around. The phone is not in the shower, or when I'm in my spin bike, because I'm even though I'm in class and I'm listening to music, my mind just leaves and no one's telling, because at the end of the day, you're right. We're getting all this messaging. And then we start kind of comparing ourselves. We're like, oh, well, look what Sarah's doing. And look what Janet's doing. Look what Carol's doing. And look at Lisa, and then all of a sudden we're kind of like, we lose our way, where it's good to see what other people are doing and get that information, but designating time, like you were saying, to develop that trust, to know where your higher self is guiding you, which is always the trusted route. So I love that. And I was taking notes. I think we should do a class or a panel conversation on how to raise your vibration, because Carol, you mentioned that. And I wonder if there are femmes out there that are thinking to themselves, I wish I knew how to do that, because everyone says to do that, right? Like, raise your vibration, make it high. And people are like, how do I do that? And then also how to connect to your higher self. I don't think we've actually done that conversation. I know we talk about it often at FemCity, but I think it'd be a great one too. How do you connect? For me, my intuition, I know when it's coming from above, because the wording is different. When it comes from me, is I should, or I need to. And then when it comes from above, it's like, you need to move in that direction. As soon as I get those words, I'm like, oh, it's from above, which I take, definitely a little bit stronger messaging for myself. All right, let's go to Lisa. Lisa, who is an international bestselling author. She's also another great author. She runs our Markham FemCity community. And Lisa, what is your advice?
Well, I want to say that I'm very glad to be following up Janet's advice, because I was looking through my notes when we spoke about intuition earlier this year on another workshop with FemCity. And lo and behold, the line that I have written down here highlighted is, learning to listen to and rely on your intuition takes time, practice, and trust. So there you go. We are totally on the same wavelengths. I find that lately, I've been really focusing in on the different ways that our intuitive guidance is available to us. And learning about this has opened up whole other avenues in terms of that, learning to trust that guidance, because I really feel that when it comes to you, it will be in ways that are unique to the individual. So what would that look like? I mean, it could come in the form of inspired thoughts or ideas, like people talk about a light bulb moment, or Violet, how you mentioned getting your best ideas in the shower. It's like that aha. Or sometimes it comes visually, like in images or words. That's happened to me a lot lately. Single individual words, but they are impactful. So the question is, are we available to listen to that guidance, and are we on the frequency in which we can lean into it? And I think that really does come from getting to know really where those messages are coming for you. In my case, it's often this kind of download of dropping in, of clear knowing. I mean, there's also these clairs, and I'm sure that many of us on this panel and elsewhere could describe them in detail. We could do a class on that too, actually, on claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all these different ways that you can receive your intuition. But I'm just starting to learn about that and realizing that, yeah, it may be different for me on different days, but there are for sure primary ways that I receive intuitive nudges. So then once I know that, I can really drop into being more present to it. And like you said, Violet, knowing the difference between when it's that inner critic voice that has the shoulds and should nots attached to it, and when it's my soul speaking to me, which is always from a place of love. So that would be my number one tip, is to really become aware and tune into how your inner voice works.
I was listening to you and I'm thinking about so many femmes that I know that will do this exercise, right? With everything that has been shared already so far. And they'll receive it, but then they'll go ahead and not listen to it because it seems weird, or it's off track, or that's not how it's going to show up. So if you're watching this and you take on any of these exercises or tips, just make the commitment to move forward and trust, because I think that's where a lot of opportunity is missed, where people get it.
Yes.
Like maybe it's you know what, I should reach out to Sarah, right? Oh my gosh, I should reach out to Lynn, or whatever that is. And then you're like, yeah. And then you go on your day. Just commit to whatever practice you decide to do, whatever strengthening you want to take on with your intuition, that whatever comes to you, just give it a go. Just move forward blindly with faith and with trust, because sometimes that's the biggest gift that we can have, because it always works out. It always shows up. It's up to us then to listen to it, or just be like, I mean, how many times, I'm sure we can all agree, how many times have we gotten ourselves into situations where our tummy, our intuition told us, it's not for you. It was packaged with a really pretty bow. And then we did it. And then we're like, oh my gosh, I should have never done it. Like I knew down deep inside, but I moved forward anyway. So let's go to Sarah Sparks. Sarah, who has an amazing podcast. Super excited to see it flourish and grow. And I'm sure she's holding on to great wisdom for us. What is your tip, Sarah?
Your degree, your level of intuition is defined by the degree or level of your relationship with yourself, and then with divine. Start with the relationship you have with yourself. Ask yourself, am I willing to connect with the true me? Am I willing to let go of the control? What do I want to set myself free from? Start here with these questions.
Love it. That is incredibly powerful. We always, Sarah, we keep going back to you. You're quoted often at FemCity with your question, am I done suffering? And this is just as powerful as that.
Yeah.
Because that's the question. Because if you're not, then what's the point, right?
Clarity is in the question.
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we did have some love that came through. Let's go ahead and share it from Sonia, another FemCity Global member. Sonia, we're so excited that you're joining us. Sometimes I get off the grid for a week or two. I paint, journal, get in my jacuzzi. It sounds like good. Listen to good music. This puts me in a place where I can think creatively and hear from God about the direction for my life. That is such a beautiful share. Thank you so much, Sonia. You know, it's counterintuitive, because I think most women feel like, I can't stop. I have to keep on. I can't take a break, because if I do, I'm going to, people are going to think I'm not serious about my business. It's going to make me look like I'm weak. I need to make so much money. If I take a break, it's not going to happen. I've always made the most amount of money when I've taken a break, because I need that clarity, that reconnection, that reconfirmation. And then it helps me to be more productive and stronger in my alignment. So take the break, especially this holiday season. We've been through a lot. So it's been, not as heavy, I think, not as heavy as 2020. Definitely, it's got some wonkiness to it. But give yourself some grace, take some time this holiday season to just find that place so that you can really be at your highest self for 2022. So, Carol, where can Femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world? I know you have that workshop coming up tomorrow. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, I've got a Facebook group, Money Matters with Carol. And my website is MindSense, MindZenze. And I just want to share quickly, I get a lot of downloads in the shower. So my lovely husband went ahead and got me this notebook. It is Aqua Love Notes. I'm a pencil. And this is where I record a lot of my downloads, because like most of you said, just being in a place where we're relaxed and comfortable, not thinking anything, just enjoying the moment, that's when your download will come in. That's when your mind is open to receive it. And this is how, because I used to get it. And when I came out the shower, the thoughts would go away and I didn't know how to retract them. And so my husband said, you know what, I'll help you out. I'll go look on Amazon. And I was really grateful that he was able to get that for me. So something to help you on your journey with your strengthening your intuition.
I love it. By the way, the first time I did that exercise, I was in my 40s. Actually, I had just turned 40. I had just turned 40. And I remember doing it, and I thought I was going to go insane. I thought I was going to go mad, because I had so much coming down on me that I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot. And I happened to, and I've shared this story before, so if you heard it before, you can tune it out. But I had purchased that Deepak Chopra's book, Spiritual Laws of Spiritual something or the 7 practices. It's like a tiny little one. I was in Madrid, Spain, sitting there on a bench, and I opened it up, and literally the first sentence that I read was something to the effect of, when you start becoming connected, or I can't even remember the beautiful word that he shared, you think you're going to go mad. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm normal. I'm totally normal. Because once you start practicing that, that's something that I don't think people tell you, is that you do get a lot. And then you're like, forget it. That's too much. I'm not going to do that anymore. That was a lot. But just sit in there, and eventually it calms down and it kind of eases in. So just, hold on. Don't give up with that. All right, let's go to Janet. Janet, you have a lot of stuff cooking also. How can Femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
Probably the best one-stop shop is my website, which is janetsandberg.com.
Perfect. Easy. And get her book. Got to plug that in there. It's on Target.
Called Spirit Would Like You to Know. It's available on Amazon. Thank you.
Yeah. I have it in a bookshelf. I need to literally one day, all the Femmes, I buy all your books. I'm going to bring them all out at the same time. Thank you so much, Janet. Let's go to Lisa. Lisa, you have a lot also going on. What's the best way for Femmes to find you?
I am going to be pulling out my copy, by the way, Janet, of Spirit Would Like You to Know, because I haven't cracked it open yet, but I do have it on my bookshelf. So I just want to give you that assurance as well. I am on Facebook or Instagram. Lisa M. Pinnock is my handle on Instagram. I seem to be there most frequently these days, but you can also find me on LinkedIn. And our books, Uncover Your Light, Volumes 1 and 2, which I'm lead authoring, and Carol is one of the co-authors, is actually available on pre-order right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and I think a few other places. So you can grab a pre-order before it launches in the summer. And just so glad to have this conversation with everyone today. It is so important. And just one other quick plug. With the holidays coming in, a lot of crowds, potentially you being around a lot of people, I find that as I become more open to my intuition, it also means feeling other people's energies more readily. And I think it's important for femmes to just know that that also doesn't mean you're crazy. And that, you know, maybe protecting yourself though from those energy fields is something to consider, especially when you're going out and about. So just a word of advice.
Love that. I had one of our FemCity Miami members reached out to me like 3 weeks ago before the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. And she was like, do you have any advice? We have a lot of stuff happening with a lot of family and a lot of, you know, she was already starting to feel heavy. And the reason why I wrote that post on Instagram with my tips on how to navigate those energies is because of her. So we are not alone. If you're feeling like that, we are not alone. So take a look at that. All right, Sarah, what is the best way for femmes to find you? I know you have podcasts coming out all the time. You've got amazing guests. What else is happening?
You can reach me at sarahsparks.love. I have a mastermind coming up starting January 11th. And this is not my normal voice. And I'm not a phone sex operator. So that is not where you can find me. But I also just want to plug in that if you're wanting to use your intuition for your business, that is a valid way of creating a business plan and marketing plan. Sometimes we look at other coaches and businesses and we're like, oh, we really need to have a call to action, a product demographic, a target contact demographic. We have to pull together this offer and design an outcome and all these things. You can do that all through your intuition. You may just word it differently. And I just want to encourage people that using your intuition is a valid business plan and marketing plan. And I've made thousands and thousands of dollars doing it. So you can too.
Love that. And it goes back to what Janet was saying, right? Trusting and using your own words. And I think that, by the way, just to add on what you said, I think people know that and they feel that through your website or through your social media platform. When you're in that space, I feel like people can really connect with you without the fluff that maybe other people had added on you that didn't feel right. I think people feel that. You know, if you go out into the world and you're doing things that don't feel good to you or doing that call to action that makes you feel a little bit icky or for whatever reason you don't like the words. I had that with our company name before. Our organization was called the Femfessionals, and then we changed to FemCity. And I didn't like the word Femfessionals. I didn't even like our logo. And one day Steve heard me say that, and he's like, "That is awful. That's the energy you're hanging around. You know, like you're creating this organization and you don't like the name or the logo." And it was because everybody else told me to do all these names and to do all these things. And as soon as I changed, which was very painful, everything exploded in a really great way. So I love that we ended it on that note. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me today. This was so beautiful. I wish we were all in a room together because then I would like hug you and like just feel all of your energy in my space, my spiritual space. So very grateful you took the time out today to share your wisdom with us. And again, if you're watching the replay, I advise you to hang out and reach out to any of these women right here. They've been a part of our FemCity program for a while, and I get to know them personally, and they're just amazing. And if you've never even taken the FemCity trial for a spin, head over to femcity.com. We've got a great 30-day free trial membership waiting for you. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much. Bye.